Hey everyone! In today's tutorial, I am going to make a vintage watercolor happy 50th anniversary card for my in-laws. I'm starting with Aquarello Artistico 100% cotton watercolor paper. This gorgeous stamp set from Concord and Ninth called Happy Day with this stunning cake image in it. And of course, my mini Misty that I can't live without. And I just have the watercolor paper cut down in the corner. And I'm going to ink it up with Vintage Photo Distress ink from Ranger. And I know this isn't typically a stamping ink, but that's what's great about the Misty, is you can stamp even with Distress ink and get a beautiful image. The reason I'm using the Distress ink, though, is actually for the watercolor portion. I have another video I'll link you to where I did vintage watercolor on Winnie the Pooh, and I'm just in love with this technique and the colors of the two products that I'll be using. So once that's all crisp and beautiful, I can take that out of the Misty. And I'm going to use the Elegant Writer pigment pen again. This is a calligraphy pen, that's what it's designed for. But it has a very unique ink that is reactive with water for a period of time. And it separates beautifully into different colors, a sort of teal green, a pink, and then of course you'll get some deep blacks as well, depending on how heavily you apply the pen. I'm just putting thin little lines everywhere where I'm going to want sort of a deeper shadow on these flowers, nothing super precise. And then with a black velvet silver brush and some water, I have to add a lot of water to these teeny brushes. I just go along where the ink and the Elegant Writer pigment are to blend those two colors together for the beautiful vintage watercolor look. This is such a fantastic and simple process of getting a sepia look with the vintage photo, and also adding beautiful shading and color separation with the Elegant Writer. It almost feels lazy because it's such a fun shortcut to such an elegant look. So I'm just very loosely adding water to this image, a little more water around where the Elegant Writer is, because that's what gives you this fun color separation that you see. The more water, the more separation. And then just making sure to activate the vintage photo wherever I can to get that gorgeous sepia tone. It really could not be named any more perfectly vintage photo, because that's exactly what it looks like. And then just being careful in some of the more intricate areas not to totally obscure these delicate little flowers that are arranged on the cake. Then near the bottom, I'm pulling out just a little bit of the vintage photo underneath the cake stand, but I realize that it's not enough. And so I'm actually just going to pick it up directly off the ink pad and do it that way. I do this pretty frequently. I don't worry about getting a little bit of water on the ink pad. I no longer obsess about my supplies like that anymore. I used to really worry about that stuff, but it's just an ink pad. It'll survive whatever I can throw at it. And I just add just sort of a warm shadow around the bottom of the plate. Even though I will be die cutting this image, I didn't want it to float above the bottom of the cardstock. So here it is, cut out with the matching die, and also another Concord and Ninth die for the Happy Day sentiment, some newsprint paper, and on the card base, which is actually crumb cake, I went ahead and used a paintbrush and some vintage photo to warm up that cardstock just a little bit. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks so much for watching.